This week on Capitol Report, Republican U.S. Senate candidates make their case in their only debate leading up to the August 9th primary.
I am a career American.
The U.S. of A. is the greatest country on the face of the earth.
I am a loudmouth Greek girl.
What do you mean you don't eat no meat?
Everything that America stands for is under attack.
Sorry, Beckman. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Bob Stefanowski looks to make prison conditions an issue in the governor's race.
If anybody deserves hero pay, it's these men and women inside this building enduring 100-degree heat in a high-risk situation.
And Bob, how many times do you plan to blame Governor Lamont for rising inflation?
739,000.
Plus, the Choco Taco gets its moment in the political spotlight. Capitol Report starts now. Welcome to Capitol Report. I am Tom Dutching. We are so glad you're spending part of this Sunday morning alongside the Power Panel. Back for analysis, Joe Arasimowicz, former Democratic Speaker of the House. Welcome back.
Well, it's great to be here.
Johnny Mack, former Senate Minority Leader, GOP side.
Great to be here with my friend Joe.
All right, let's get into it, guys. A week from this coming Tuesday, primary day in Connecticut, August 9th. Mark your calendars, everybody. The past week, we got a chance to see 3 Republicans who are vying for the chance to face U.S. Senator Dick Blumenthal in November go at it in their only debate. Themis Klarides, the GOP's endorsed candidate, pro-choice, moderate. Klarides faced a double dose of conservatism from Leora Levy. Peter Lumaj, the candidates mixed it up on economy, guns, DACA, and of course abortion. But if there's an underlying message that Klarides tried to hammer home, is that her experience and middle ground views would matter more in Washington versus the hardline and conservative message of her opponents. Watch this.
I know I am a strong, common sense Connecticut Republican, and that's how you win an election in the state. I'm a proven winner, and I'm a proven fighter. I have fought for lower taxes. I have fought for less spending. I have fought for the rule of law.
I'm not afraid to be a Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm the only one who is an unwavering conservative, never changed my positions. In 2014, I was able to get approximately 500,000 votes.
I'm a principled, common sense conservative. Blumenthal is the face of Biden in Connecticut. I am running to rid Connecticut of the Blumenthal blight. It's the career politicians who have gotten us into this mess. I am an outsider, not a career politician.
So Johnny Mack, both you and A to Z took copious notes during our debate as we watched it all together backstage. As a Republican, what stood out to you?
Well, two things stood out to me. First, I think Themis Klarides did exactly what she needed to do, talk about her experience of getting things done and her ability to win the race. One of the things, Joe, I used to tell Republicans is choose the most conservative person who can win. Yeah. And I think Themis made the point that she's the only one who can win. I think the second thing that stood out for me is the fact that there is a race between Peter Lumaj and Leora Levy to say who's the true conservative. I think that race was won by Peter Lumaj.
Yeah, I thought Peter performed very well. He was very consistent in his views. Leora came across to me as angry. She talked about collusion amongst the candidates. She talked about her being American and just said it in a way that seemed angry. I don't think that really reaches out to voters and say, support me. I'm a good person to run against Dick Blumenthal. So to me, it really does come down to the Republican voters have to decide Peter Lumaj or Themis Klarides. Ultimately, their decision is, do they want to win? Because they have a long history of endorsing candidates that check all the boxes, but don't have the ability to win.
Well, and that's the goal. The goal for Republicans is to win. And if you don't, in my opinion, if you don't like all of the positions that Themis Klarides has taken as a state representative, I assure you she will be better in the U.S. Senate for Republicans, and I think for Connecticut, than Dick Blumenthal will be. Now, let me just say one more thing. I think Themis Klarides, as a moderate Republican woman in the U.S. Senate, has a chance on day one to bring the Senate back to what it used to be. Republicans and Democrats working together. We just saw that with Chris Murphy working with John Cornyn on the gun bill. I think she'll be that kind of senator.
All right, guys, you know, the Connecticut Democratic Party Chair Nancy DiNardo weighed in on the debate saying the first vote they would take would, Kenny didn't say that, would be to make Mitch McConnell the majority leader, adding, quote, a Mitch McConnell-led Senate will push for a national ban on abortion, corporate handouts, and cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and other programs. programs America need now more than ever. All three Republicans would be a consistent vote for the McConnell agenda, which is fully out of step with Connecticut value. Guys, what do you think we say about that?
Yeah, look, it's going to be incredibly hard. Themis has worn the mantle or the patch as a leader. We know what it's like as a leader. John, you did it. I did it. You need to rustle up the votes. You need to push your people to vote for things that they may not be uncomfortable. They may be uncomfortable with. Themis is going to have to deal with that. Her political beliefs are more in line with the voters of Connecticut. But once you get down there, you're a member of a caucus. They're going to want certain votes from you, and it's going to be a push and a pull. And how does she handle that?
Guys, things started to get a little chippy towards the end of the debate. Candidates dragging spouses into the discussion. Lumaj bringing up that Levy and her husband may have donated money to Richard Blumenthal in the past. And then Levy threw the Lumaj attack back at Claridis. Take a look at this. Watch this.
What bothers me about Leora is this. In 2012, when she spoke at the National Republican Convention on behalf of Mitt Romney, she was pro-abortion. 2016, she wrote an article against Donald Trump. She's pro-Trump now. Then she donated to Blumenthal. Now she wants to defeat Blumenthal. The voters for the primary have a clear choice. Center-left Themis Klarides or a true, unwavering conservative, which is Peter Lumaj.
What my husband does is my husband's business. I don't know, you haven't been married as long as I, but after 37 years, I've had quite a few arguments, and that was one of the things about which we have argued. And well, I'm not going to talk about, I don't blame you for the rate hikes at Eversource. What your husband does is what your husband does.
Well, I think you should check your records a little more carefully.
Well, I think you should check the records more carefully,
I'll
frankly.
check the records.
We'll
so
let you
if
jump in here.
Lumaj.
Anyway.
Let's all check the records. You know, we're watching that together. We said, aha, the first big whack of the night, huh, McKinney?
Yeah, you have three people fighting for one nomination, and at the end it started getting a little personal and a little chippy. I think we all agree spouses, families are off limits if your spouse does something that shouldn't be a tribute to you. But I do think Peter Lumaj pointing out that Leora Levy has changed positions on issues is a fair hit, and it's her job to explain why she's changed.
And when given the opportunity, specifically with abortion, I think she failed. She didn't clearly articulate to the voters of why the switch. She talked about life experience, but it really didn't correlate over, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Themis won the debate. I don't know if it was enough to change votes. I think Leora may have lost votes to Peter in that debate.
I thought the line was, it's easy to talk about what you will do. I'll talk about what I have done. And Themis delivered that.
All right, guys, here's something we touched upon a few minutes ago. And the two self-proclaimed conservatives on the stage, and one moderate, Peter Lumaj, tried to clear a lane for himself by indicating this is a two-person race and that three is a crowd. Watch this.
It is between Themis Klarides and I. I'm the conservative, she's center-left. If the voters want someone who is center-left, they should go with Themis. If they want a true conservative, unwavering conservative, they should stick with me.
Again, it seems, Peter, that maybe there are only two campaigns and three candidates on the stage. But to me, it seems like there are two campaigns. I don't know when you're going to stop carrying the water for Ms. Claridis.
Oh, you think Lumaj, like, after how long has Claridis been in office? Like 20 years? I mean, they've been saying Claridis? What's the Claridis going on there?
Yeah, I don't know where he gets that. Maybe that's just the way he says it. But normally, she'd give me the look anytime I messed up her name. So she didn't give the look on stage.
No look.
You know, I do think this was the most bizarre moment of the campaign.
Yeah.
Leora Levy accused Peter Lumaj of colluding with the Themis campaign to attack her, and she went on social media suggesting that there was a collusion. It's just beyond bizarre. I've known Peter Lumaj for quite some time. He is genuine. He has not wavered in his ideas, whether you agree with him or not. He's a very nice guy, and there wasn't any colluding with Themis. He just agreed with her on a position against Leora.
And look, it's a finite pool. We can throw around numbers, 90, 100,000, 110, 120. Who's going to come out and vote? They're all looking at that pool and figuring where their lanes are. As a football coach, if I see the little kid out there kind of goofy looking at corner, I'm throwing that way. Peter identified that Leora's base and some of her voters could be his. So he tried to get them.
So McKinney, you've been through primaries before. What should we expect on the 9th as far as turnout goes, and what should we be looking for?
That's a great question. When I ran against Tom Foley for governor in 2014, long time ago, about 80,000 turned out, very small turnout. 4 years ago in the Republican governor primary, 110,000 turnout. There isn't a gubernatorial primary. Does the Senate primary bring out more people? I'm not sure. So I think you're looking between 80 and 100,000 people, best case scenario, and which candidate gets their votes out is going to determine who wins.
Joe, last question. What does Blumenthal's Oppo researchers clip out of this debate?
I think he's looking at two candidates, and if I'm his folks, I'm more comfortable with Peter Lamage. It's a real argument that the people understand. We understand the issues. Themis becomes a little bit more difficult. She sort of appeals to some of the people that have been Dick Blumenthal voters. But he's been a fighter for so many years. People know what he stands for. They know he's going to fight for him down in D.C. He's delivered back to the state of Connecticut. So regardless who gets it, it's going to be an uphill fight. But right now, I'd be nervous about Themis.
Well, he's sitting on over $8 million of campaign funds. If he starts attacking the winner immediately after the primary, that should tell you that his internal polls are saying this is a race he should be worried about. That's what I'm going to look for, not who he attacks and not what the attack is, but if he goes on the attack. With someone like Senator Blumenthal, who's been in office for 30 years, everybody knows him and has an opinion on him. If he runs a negative campaign, that tells you he's worried.
All right, guys. Up next on Capitol Report, she co-moderated the Senate debate. She's covering the governor's race. The ubiquitous chief political correspondent Joy Latino will join us for a chat about a very interesting race in West Haven where a pro-abortion Democrat seeking re-election. Details when we get back. Don't go away.